Do you ever feel like everything you do is wrong and you're just always making the wrong choices? Everything that you try just doesn't work anymore. And your life is just it's a perpetual loop of self-sabotage and misery. That happens to be me right now. And it's scary. And I wanted to make this video because I feel like tonight I reached my lowest point, my breaking point, where I no longer really care about how I feel. I'm just me at the end of the day, and I need to record this so that I can look back on it and remember what brought me so low. I don't know about you, but every January 1st is the worst day of the year for me, because that day is mounted with so much pressure. Because on New Year's Eve, we all have so many New Year's resolutions that we want to get right, so many things that need to go our way, and if they don't go our way, first day, year's ruined, right? No. Yeah, so I just want to say that I'm not a believer in I just want to say that I'm not a believer in New Year's resolutions at all, because they don't work. Every single day is a new year, in my opinion, and I think that we should take advantage of that idea, that concept of New Year's resolutions, and use them every day. And that's what I live by and have been living by for a long time. But recently, the New Year's, it's not working for me, and I don't know about you, but life just feels different, feels flat, feels boring, feels like everything you try is just you're not a step closer to happiness. That's a really sad thought, I know, but you know it is what it is. We do what we do to survive. So I just want to say, no matter where you are in life, we're gonna get you out of this, and I'm gonna get myself out of this, because I'm not happy in the slightest. I'm actually very upset, but I'm smiling through it because I'm recording it, and I suggest that you do the same. If you're on this journey as well, if you feel like you're just in a never-ending loop of pain and just nothing more than that, then honestly, pick up the camera and hit record, because that's what I'm doing, and we're gonna go through this journey together, because there's no way to go but up from here when you hit rock bottom. And you're probably wondering what rock bottom. It doesn't matter. This isn't about me as much as it is about you, and it's about us and our journey. It's about going forward. We cannot live in the past, unless it's for a video. Then sure, we'll go there, but not now. So I think it's important that no matter where we are in life, we always try our best, and even if those results feel like they're getting us nowhere, we have to keep on getting up every day and chipping in. I feel like I'm getting up and I'm clocking into a full-time job of being a slave to distraction and to feelings of hopelessness. And when you feel like that, when you feel so apathetic, you kind of just have to shrug it off. Which admittedly I'm not doing right now, because I'm filming this, but I just thought it was important to mention that most of the time when you're not there, you do just shrug it off. When you lose sight of who you are and lose sight of what's important, you can end up doing a lot of things that will sabotage your life in tenfold. So I'm just saying, always put in the work, always make sure you're giving it 100% in everything, everything that you can, at least. Because if you're not doing that, then what are you? What am I if I don't wake up tomorrow and I don't go to the gym? What am I if I don't give it 100? What am I if I don't wake up and live today like it was my last? Because that's what I've been doing recently. That's what I've not been doing. I should say, I've not been living every day like it's my last. I've been living every day like I got 1,000 million left, you know, like as if I'm gonna live forever. Because we don't know how much time we have on this planet, so we kind of do have to make do with now. It's nearly 4 a.m. I don't know why I'm up. I just am. I just felt like recording this. I felt like starting a conversation about life and how it's precious and how we have to nurture it and we have to look after ourselves. And that life, sometimes it's about getting up in the morning. Sometimes it's about taking a cold shower. And it's about going out and working your butt off and feeling that pain. Feeling it like it's a dagger stabbing you in the back. Sometimes you have to go through that 1, 2, 3, 20, 30 times a day. It's just a part of life. Sometimes we have to go through that pain to reach the end of the tunnel and hope that there's light. But here's the thing, we can go through all this pain and all this suffering and we can put in the work and we can put ourselves in uncomfortable situations because we're waiting for that light at the end of the tunnel. We're waiting for that gold. But when that gold doesn't arrive, it can be really disheartening and it can be really like it can hurt, man. Like it can feel like, what the hell is the point in all this? Which is why you have to have moments like this, moments of clarity where you start recording yourself and then you can watch it back and you can say, you know what, that was it. That's why I did it, to please him, to please the guy that just had nothing left to give. The guy that thought there was nothing left, there was nothing for him, or the girl, you know, either one. I'm speaking as a guy because I am a guy, so you record the videos and you watch it back and that reminds you of who you were before you put in the work, before you lived like it was your last. Because you can sense energy, right? I don't know if you can sense my energy. I'm pretty drained right now. Not because it's nearly 4 a.m., but because I'm tired of life. Tired of life. I'm tired of always putting in 100 and getting nothing but more pain. I'm tired of it. Sometimes you can try as hard as you want. I've said this before on other videos to myself. You can give it 100% and still get nothing, and that sucks. But we have to stay strong. We have to remember that there's always a better time later on in your journey. There will be a time of triumph. There will be a moment where you feel like it was all worth it. But I need to tell you something. When that moment comes, when you feel like everything that you've been working for is culminating in something magical, and if you feel happy, savor it, because we don't know how long that feeling's gonna last, because tomorrow we could feel like shit again. We could feel like there's no point in it all. So if you feel that it's good and you feel like everything you're doing is worth it, then just, I tell you, I pray to you, I want you to grab it and never let it go, because that is the point. The point is to be happy. The point is to have your cake and eat it, and you know, I want that for you. And that comes from putting in the work, and that comes from grueling hours of labor. If that's a job, if you're working a job that you hate, keep at it. Unless you have a plan. If you have no plan, keep working your job. Okay? Because the more you work that job, the more you're going to want to quit. The more you hate that job, the more motivation, the more the fire inside starts to roar. And the more it comes out in the gym, at home, in the videos. When you're tired of doing the same old shit day after day, then that's when you start getting angry. And that's when you start trying again. And that's when you plot it out. I want you to script out your perfect day. I want you to write it down on a piece of paper. Get yourself a pen, get yourself some paper. I don't want to see anybody typing away on their phones or on their computer, because I want you to write this down physically so you can put it on your wall and look at it every single time you lose motivation. Write down who you want to be and how you're going to become that person. What steps does he have to take to become him? What does he have to do? What time does he wake up? What does he eat in the morning? Does he eat in the morning? Does she go to the gym? Does she go for a walk? Does she journal? Does she meditate? Does he self-affirmations? What does he wear? Does he wear a chain like me? And I'm not wearing my watch, but does he wear a watch? Who knows? Write them down. What are his goals? What does he work towards? Why is he doing this? Why is he doing it? Keep asking why. Write these little things down on the paper right now. What time do I want to wake up? Okay, 5:30. Why? Why? Because, well, everyone else wakes up at 5:30. Why do I feel like the successful people have to wake up at 5:30? Why? Why is that so important to me? Do I actually feel good when I wake up at 5:30? Yeah, I feel pretty good at when it's 5:30, you know? Like, why? Well, because, there's no one around and it's just me. Okay, so you're good on your own. Bit of a lone wolf, I see. That's good. Okay, well, we're gonna use that. Why am I a lone wolf? Why? And how can I use that to my advantage? Well, I want you to wake up at 5:30, okay? I want you to keep asking these questions and keep asking why, because at the end of the day, it will all culminate in a big circle. A big circle. Because you will realize that life is cyclical and that everything happens for a reason, and that it all lines up to something. Like, I have my whys and I have my clarity because I asked the questions and I answered them honestly, and now I know why. And that's my business. And I'll get into that if I have to, but not tonight. So, yeah, I just wanted to say, I say all this to say basically, and I say all this to say, it's time for you to find out your whys. It's time for you to take on the next chapter. If you feel like every single day is the same, and you feel like you ruined yesterday, and you feel like you just in general messed up the New Year's resolution, because what month are we in? I don't know, I don't care when you're watching this, but the month I'm recording this in is the 9th. It's the 9th month of the year. Okay? It doesn't take a genius to figure out that that's 3 months left, including this month, so it's 4 months. If we included this month, that's 4 months that you have left of 2025. If it's not September when you're watching this, have a look. How many months left do you have of the year? And then do the calculations and say to yourself, did I waste this year? And be honest with yourself, did you waste this year? Were you hung up on somebody? Were you working a job for no reason? Were you scrolling on your knick-knack for hours on end every single day? Watching TikTok or whatever you guys do? What were you doing? And if you feel like you were ruining and you were wasting that, if you feel like you've wasted that year, I'm going to reassure you now, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't. It doesn't matter at all. And let me tell you why. Because September is when most of you go back to school, or some people go to college or university, whatever, it doesn't matter. Or some of you are just working like me. But what's special about September is the month that everything changes in the seasons. If you don't know, we always live, the way that we live in seasons. I like to say we live in chapters, but to be accommodating to all of you lot, I'm going to say that we live in seasons. What season of life are you in right now? Let me ask you that. What season of life are you in now? Because I'm telling you, whatever you were in doesn't have to be where you are now. You can change. Okay, this is the first step to changing. If you want to change your life, I'm saying that now, September is the most important month of your life. Shall I tell you why? September is autumn, or if you're American or Canadian, it's fall. What does that mean? Well, autumn is a time when the leaves drop from the trees and the world becomes a whole lot darker. That's the truth. And that's good, because if you're feeling stuck in your own skin, you feel like you want to drop some dead weight, and I'm telling you, there's no better time than now. People always say, let's do it the New Year's resolution, like January 1st, new year, new me. That's bullshit. Don't do that, because that's just going to lead you nowhere. It's going to lead you to pain. Because I tell you why, the second you mess up, the first day that you mess up, January 1st, I messed up January 1st. You know what happened to me that day? I woke up thinking I was going to conquer the year, because I thought, hey, new year. Well, actually, I thought it was, the way that I see it is New Year, same me, because I liked who I was then. So it was like, I'm still gonna conquer the year. New Year, same me. We're gonna get after it. But no, that first day, I said, you know what? Forget it. I'm just gonna mess up today. If I'm gonna mess up any day, if I'm gonna be waking up every day scared that I'm gonna mess it up, might as well get it over with and mess up now. So I messed up, and I watched movies, and I didn't go to the gym, and I scrolled on social media, and I did all the bad habits, minus a couple, but I did a few of the bad habits, and that felt like shit. But guess what? Next day, I didn't have that hanging over me. I didn't have it hanging over me that this year has to be perfect, because it doesn't. And it never is. It's never perfect. And I'm not saying now is going to be perfect. I'm just saying that this is the perfect time for you to actually make a change and for you to forgive yourself. This is what this is all about. I need you to forgive yourself. Do you forgive yourself for wasting this year? I hope so. If not now, when? Something to think about. When are you going to forgive yourself? If you don't take my advice, and if you don't decide that this month, this season, leading up to winter, which is the coldest time of the year, if you didn't know, winter is when it gets dark, it's when it gets cold, it's when it gets lonely, especially after Christmas, because you've got the months leading up to Christmas, which is all like jolly and merry, and it's great. But then when Christmas is over and January comes and it is actually the new year, wouldn't you like to have some achievements on your shoulders? Wouldn't you like to have some gold stars under your belt? Because autumn is when you do that. If you feel like you're carrying a lot of baggage, you don't want to carry that baggage into 2026, then I think now is the time that you drop all that shit. I need you to actually just think about this for a minute. Think about it. How are you gonna do this? Because I'm thinking the same thing, because I need to change as well. It's pretty crazy, right? We're gonna go on this journey together. It's gonna be great, I promise. You just have to bear with me, and I'll bear with you. So, autumn. It's when the leaves fall. It's when the sky goes beautiful orange on those lovely autumn nights. You're gonna use them. I want you to, let's say, go outside, watch the sunset for me. I did it with my dog, my dog Brody. I went out with him, and I watched the sunset with him. And we didn't leave until it was like fully dark, like it was properly dark. And I want you to do that. I want you to go and I want you to watch the sunset. I want you to imagine what it would feel like. That once the sun goes down, the night comes, you're a new man or you're a new woman. Watch what happens. Because you will be reborn. If you follow it right and you stick to it, if you believe it, it's manifestation. I don't believe in that like normally. Like, I'm not a big believer in that sort of thing. Like, just pray to make it happen. Like, no, I think that actions speak louder than words. So the idea is that you think about it and then that motivates you to take action. So I want you to go through that sunset, go through that transformation, and kill your old self. But don't be disheartened if after that sunset you wake up the next day and feel exactly the same, because I get it. That was just day one. That was that was the ceremonial introduction to autumn. Because now you're growing, now you're shedding the leaves. Do what it takes. Get a haircut. I might get a haircut. Maybe. Now it's day one. We're not going to be goofy. We're not going to call it the autumn arc. Even though we could call it the autumn arc, but I just think that's silly, because we got the winter arc, and that's better. That's cold, what I mean? So autumn, and you're gonna just drop everything. Because yeah, you do still have to put in the work. You still have to go to the gym. If you're not going to the gym, by the way, go. It's good. Good for your mental health. I'll go into that in another video. Go to the gym. I also want you to journal. I want you to journal every single day about what it is you want to become and how you want to achieve it, and who you have to be, you know. And just take every day, take everything one step at a time. Don't expect miracles because you're gonna be disappointed. Just be you. But if you're not happy with you, change it. Be him. Be better. Be someone who you could be proud of. Your past doesn't define you. Your past does not define you, and your thoughts definitely don't define you. So if you're thinking negatively, and you feel like those thoughts are overwhelming you, and you feel like you are those thoughts, then dig your own grave and jump in. Because you're already one step closer to the grave every second. So, yeah, I want you to just let go. Let go of what's haunting you. Let go of whatever the hell is hanging over you, because it's not going to serve you next year when you're glowing. When you're shining. Yeah, it's not going to work for you. I'm sorry. So let go of it now so you don't have to do it later. You know? Do the hardest thing first. We're going to shed those leaves. We're going to shed them. We're going to drop the leaves. Shed the old skin. And then we're going to wrap up. Where's my... Bear with me. We're going to get warm, okay? We're putting on the jacket. Because it's about to get frosty. We're going to get warm. We're going to get cozy. That's why the fire's on. And then we're going to smash it. Every single day we're going to get after it. We're going to be lifting. We're going to be eating right. We're going to be journaling. We're going to be doing whatever work we have to. If you're in a 9 to 5 right now, keep at it. Unless you're in a position where you can quit it, and do it, by all means quit it. But if you're working towards something, if you're doing this 9 to 5 and you're working towards something, you need something. For me, I have my goals, I have the things that I'm working for, but if you're doing that and you feel like every single day is leading up to nothing, you feel like every day you're just working for the paycheck, working for the paycheck, working for the paycheck, it means you're not doing enough for yourself. And that's what I've realized. So we're wrapping up, because we're getting ready for winter. We're dropping the leaves so that during winter we can just lock in. We can do the winter arc properly, and I'll make a video on that as well. Don't let summer, whatever happened this summer, if it was good, fantastic. If it was bad, like mine, if I didn't have the greatest summer, but don't let your past, don't let the season before, the chapter before, define the new one that you're about to create with me. Assuming you stick along with me, and, we're gonna craft a better future for the two of us. We shed our leaves. We get after it. I want you to make a pact with me right now that you're gonna do what I've just said. And you're not gonna let whatever happened before, whoever or whatever is on your mind, whatever is hurting you, whatever is pulling you back, you're not gonna think about it anymore. Because you're too busy thinking about autumn and thinking about what you have, what you don't have, and what you're gonna do in the winter. Thinking about that future, thinking about that goal, thinking about the whys. Why do you do things? Think about that. That's important. Think about what's important. Instead of what isn't. Because I tell you now, most of what we are fixated on, it's not that important. It doesn't matter that much, because we're all just little people floating around on a rock, floating around in space somewhere, it doesn't matter that much. So yeah, if there's a person that you need to let go of, toss them aside, man. You don't need them, because we're gonna build a new you. If you don't like who you are, I'm gonna change that. Promise. We'll shake hands on that. That's an agreement. I hope you shook my hand. Otherwise I look like an idiot. But yes. Love you guys. I don't know you, but it's nice to meet you. So, wherever you are, trust the process. Autumn is here. Drop those leaves. Let's get after it together.